Hi, I'm the host of the STO Smokers Lounge. I'm here to tell you about Anchor, the perfect app that you can use right now to start your own podcast network. You can broadcast right now. All you got to do is download the app, whether you have a phone, iPad, or even a laptop or desktop. You can right now download Anchor or go to Anchor FM right now and start recording and have your stuff broadcasted over multiple platforms such as Spotify. So go to Anchor today and start your podcast career like I have. Because trust me, I love me some Anchor.
Man,
What's good? What's good, man?
it's funny as fuck, right? The women have the hardest time when I send them the invite, but the guys go straight to it. Don't even take y'all long.
Now, what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I did ask Ashley about her interview, so I kind of got
Yeah.
a heads up of exactly what to do.
See that's being smart, people. That's why we have longevity in this business, and why we run the damn business. It is a reason to.
It's a
So
man.
how?
It's a man's world.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So how your week been? How your day been?
Uh, I finally got some rest. I did some shoots this week, and
Okay.
usually when I shoot, like it pumps my adrenaline, so I tend not to. I shoot.
Hmm.
I get right into the footage. I start looking at it, start chopping it up, seeing what I want to
Hmm.
use, and so I don't tend to sleep on nights when I shoot. So I finally
Oh,
got some rest today.
hmm.
Tomorrow's
Yeah,
family day. Mm.
yeah. Because ever since I've been doing this podcast thing, man, life been getting more busy for my black ass. So I know the feeling.
Listen,
So who did you?
the way I see you dropping these podcasts, I know you a busy man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah. So who did you work with this week?
Sean and Love from Las Vegas
Hmm.
and Artemis Triple X.
Okay. We gonna get into that in a second. Let me go do my particulars. Then I'm gonna come back to you. All right.
All right, I'm here.
All right. Hey, how y'all doing out there? Welcome to the Smokers Lounge here on Anchor, the perfect app for anyone that's trying to start their own podcasting career. All you got to do is just download the app on your phone or go to anchor.fm, set up a profile, start podcasting today. I am your host, Kavanaugh, the Southern Champ, aka the Porn Rap Star. Y'all know what it is. You want to see my porn, you want to hear my music, you want to follow me on social media, go to all my links .com/porn rap star and check me out. We're also sponsored by, tolerated by, loved by, and appreciated by the Facebook of the LS community. I'm talking about lsworld.com. Go there today, get yourself a profile, interact with other people in the same kinks as you. We're talking about subs, doms, sluts, queens of spades, whatever. Plus, you might can also find events in your area that you might could attend. So go to lsworld.com and get yourself a profile. Also, we are a proud member of the GW District Black Podcast Network. So go over to shopgwdistrict.com, click on the button for the podcast, and listen to the Black experience being taught to you and told you by Black podcasters. Also, while you're there, I got a little secret for you. Over 1,000 Black retailers that you can buy from. We're talking about fashion. We're talking about beauty, jewelry, whatever you want, even books. That's right. You can learn stuff from this site. So go to shopgwdistrict.com. Buy black, support black businesses, build the black economy so we can create generational wealth. Now I'm going to stop. I'm going to step back and I'm going to let this man introduce himself. Go ahead, sir.
All right, what's up? What's up to all the listeners? It's definitely a pleasure to be here. I am ShootH.E.R. You could pronounce it shooter, but it's actually ShootH.E.R, which is an act, and her, the acronym, which would be hedonistic, erotic, raunchy, everything in our world. I'm
Oh,
responsible
yeah.
for shooting that, so that's where the name comes by.
So, like you said, the two ladies that you shot this weekend, where did you shoot with them?
Um, Well, I actually shot with Shauna Love, who's actually from Las Vegas. She's out here in New York for the week.
Mm-hmm.
So we connected, and I did 2 scenes with her. One being a solo, which primarily I tend to do more solo scenes, more girl scenes. But
Mm-hmm.
on this set, I was actually invited as well by Artemis Triple X, who's real good talent here in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
So I did a boy girl scene with them as well.
Okay, no doubt. So why do you opt to do more the solo and like really the fetish?
Well, honestly, it's still a part of my rollout.
Mm-hmm.
Coming into the industry, I gave myself a year to learn the particulars of the industry, and
Mm-hmm.
from speaking to people early on in the industry, I realized one of the problems was actually connecting male and female talent.
Mm-hmm.
Females are very particular who they work with. Even though there's a lot of male talent, we would say in the industry, there
Mm-hmm.
isn't a lot of established male talent.
Correct.
So, with that being said, just to make it easier and me getting my feet wet, I decided to approach ladies with the idea of being more comfortable by shooting by themselves primarily or with another female.
Okay, okay, okay. No doubt. That actually kind of makes sense. So using that route, how can I put this, helped you at the same token? Because, okay, it's like this. Most fans probably want to look at the boy girl, let's just be honest. But have you noticed there's a sect that will spend a lot of money on the solo and the girl?
Um, to answer that question, I pay a lot of attention to analytics,
Yeah.
and I do speak with the models that I work with, because
Mm-hmm.
another part of my rollout is I actually do not sell content. So
Okay.
so I
But from your conversations,
yes,
of
from
course.
my conversations, uh, what I have been told was, the girls they sell.
Yeah.
The solos are more based on fan interaction, with them having OnlyFans now. So
Mm-hmm.
it's really how much the girls interact with their individual fans to get
Mm-hmm.
their sales up for the solo stuff. But I haven't had any complaints so far about it. And
Mm-hmm.
just to interject, in my plan also with the models that I work with, I shoot what I find easier to shoot. But I
Mm-hmm.
always suggest the models, and I always try to help them out by giving referrals to other companies that would actually
Mm-hmm.
shoot a boy girl.
Mm-hmm.
So these females that I work with, they still have a lot of boy girl content
Mm-hmm.
coming from other productions.
Mm-hmm.
My production with them will primarily be the girl stuff, the solo stuff, and from time to time, boy girl.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. So, with you being a cameraman and not being male talent, is it easier to get girls being a producer and a cameraman versus that of being a male talent?
In my experience, I would say it is. Discussing it with other male talent who shoot as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a lot of females are skeptical of who they work with, especially if you are an amateur producer or a solo producer, not based with a big name company. You're
Mm-hmm.
reaching out to females individually via email or maybe a DM. So they tend to be skeptical. So
Mm-hmm.
me presenting myself as solely a cameraman and an editor, it's easier because the girls, they they come in with the mindset that I'm not trying to
Mm-hmm.
actually shoot with them.
Mm-hmm. I see what you're saying. So, do you actively look for girls, or the girls find you?
Uh, well, I'm getting to the point now where the girls are finding me finally.
Because you putting in work, buddy.
Yes. But when I started out, I had to reach out to people.
Mm-hmm.
I had to market myself. So I tend to put out a lot of trailers of my work online.
Mm-hmm.
And I use those in my emails so they can see my work. And I put out the type of work that once you see it,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to catch your eye.
Yes, because you do very, very good work. Very good work.
Thank
And
you. I
this is speaking from
appreciate it.
the dude that been in for over 2 decades. Um, so with that being said, when you do start, um, I hear you talk about branding. How did you come up with the thought process of branding your product and branding your company?
Uh, well, I have been in media before,
Even to
just
the
not.
name.
Yeah, I have been in media before, and it just honestly, not to sound cocky, but things like that just come to me. So
Mm-hmm.
the name actually came to me. I was actually in a call with three other friends, and we were going somewhere doing something totally different, and it just popped into my head, the
Mm-hmm.
name with the acronym. And I hit up a friend who does logos and stuff like that. I got it
Mm-hmm.
done right away, and took care of the particulars and just started branding it from there.
Mm-hmm.
I always tell people, like if a model hits me up to work and she does not have certain particulars like a logo, something to brand her work,
Mm-hmm.
I tell them, go back to the drawing board, give yourself a couple of weeks, get that together, and then come back to me, and I'll be happy to work with you.
Yeah. Because ladies don't understand that branding is a very, very important part of this business. Because even to your name, because I even tell girls, you want a name that you're the only one that got it. So when they Google, you at the top of the list. Can you speak to that?
Yes, yes. I can't. I don't have any personal experience with
Mm-hmm.
speaking to somebody about that, but I am aware of what you're speaking of because I've watched porn for years before I've started in the industry. So I could tell you for a fact there's been times where porn stars had similar names and you couldn't find a particular scene you were looking for. You couldn't find her page. You
Mm-hmm.
find like three other porn stars with the same name. So I understand what you're saying.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Now you having a marketing background, how having that marketing background serves you well in this business thus far and in the future?
Uh, thus far, I would say it served me well by being able to give my knowledge of branding and putting yourself out there for your fans to see. I've been able to parlay that to the models that I've worked with. So,
Mm-hmm.
for instance, I've worked with a model. She never had a trailer on, something to catch her fans' eyes, let's say on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then I give her the concept of a trailer, and then they get comfortable with it and they start doing it, and you see their numbers going up
Mm-hmm.
and fans interacting on their pages. And the as far as that forward, I don't think I've received the benefits per se as that of yet.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe I'm wrong because in doing trailers for models and stuff like that, it catches the eyes of other models, and
Mm-hmm.
then they hit me up. I would
Mm-hmm.
say that's how I benefited from it so far.
Yeah. Because see, having the marketing background, you understand how to market and what marketing is. So, and
Yes.
I see that you're willing to give that knowledge to ladies. Eh, How many ladies come to you for knowledge and they actually, take it in?
Few and fewer.
Trust me, I've been there.
I'll tell you what I run into. Being that I'm new in the industry,
Hmm.
people would tend not to readily take advice from me, and I tend not to give unsolicited advice.
Yeah.
If you ask me a question about certain things, I would give you that knowledge. But just to say
Hmm.
I'm gonna pick up the phone and call a model and tell her she should
Hmm.
do this or suggest that to her, I'm not that type of person, so I haven't ran into that problem thus yet.
Now, this is to my male producers trying to break the business as well as male talent. When we talk to the ladies to get them to work with us, give some of these guys tips that they should have and know when they talk to a lady to get them to work with them.
The first key I would say would be professionalism.
Specialism. Break it down to them. Treat them like they in kindergarten. Not saying that my fans are dumb or my listeners are dumb, so they can understand. Because see, I want male talents to understand it's a way you have to move to get the girls that you want in this business to work with you, and that's what I want you to speak to.
There's a saying that first impression counts for everything. So you want your first approach to be a professional one. If you're just solely a producer, I would say you have a template of how you approach the females. Have a template laid out with the services that you offer, and then have links to your work as well, so they can see. Even if you're just starting out and you don't have work with big name models or you don't have work, period, you can just showcase your video skills, your editing skills to a female, and she can take a chance with you. Getting into this industry, you have to take a chance. I wouldn't say take risks, but you have to take a chance. So you may have to contact a female and offer a free service for that first, just to get your feet wet. But coming back to the first thing, most importantly, is professionalism. Even as male talent, when I say professionalism, that's having your test results ready. Male talent who is trying to break into the industry, you may contact a female that is not in the same area as you, and you may want to work with her. You put yourself in a position where you ask questions. You may be able to offer her travel or make travel arrangements, lodging arrangements for her that would entice her to actually work with you. So these are things that you have to have thought out before approaching a female. You pay attention to the females that you want to work with. See what their likes is. You can look at most of these models' pages and see the type of work that they do, and that can avoid you wanting to work with somebody that is only into foot fetishes, but you're approaching her to do a boy-girl scene. You know, these are things. Just doing your research, that would be the other thing after professionalism, is being well prepared.
Yeah.
So,
because see, I tell anybody this: a female can be unprepared and get away with it. We cannot.
Yes.
That's the truth. I had a female tell me, "Well, I don't watch porn." I was like, "But you do it." But that just told me that with men, we pay more to attention to detail than women do, especially because of the business.
Yes. I am an attention to detail producer, so I can speak to that. And I can speak to females.
Speak to that. I want them to hear it.
Something as simple as a female may be comfortable on set and she's getting ready to shoot, and she hops onto the bed and the soles of her feet are there. She's not paying attention to that, but me as the producer, I am. So that's when we got to stop and we do a foot check. You know, you get those clean. I mean, I guess you have fans that maybe have a fetish for dirty feet or girls wearing dirty socks, but
but if they ain't calling for the scene, they ain't part of the scene, then nah.
Yeah, but
because I got a story about that actually. Because even with Just like with me, like you, like if I see the girl feeds dirt, I wash the feed. If I see she ash, I put lotion on. And so people can understand how this is important. There was a while back when they had Blog Talk Radio, and it was this popular Blog Talk Radio show that had all the top BBW porn stars coming on there. So this go around, they had one lady who was beefing with another lady. And she was talking shit about that lady hard. I mean, she was going in hard, right? So then a caller called in and said, "Well, ma'am, I mean, you talking about her being a professional, you saying this, but you were just on Busted Baby Doll with your feet black as tar, dirty as shit." You know that show shut down, right?
Yeah.
But people pay attention to that.
Yes. Yes, they tend to.
They pay attention to how the room look and stuff. As a producer, speak to how you go around, like when you first begin to shoot. Because I know as a producer, I always get it in my mind how I want the shoot to go. Can you speak to that?
As far as speaking for how the shoot to go, are you talking about the environment? Or are you talking about the actual scene itself?
All that.
Okay.
All that.
I don't tend to go into shoots unless it's something that I am planning myself. Most times I get contacted by models, talent to work with, and they already have what they want to do in their heads. So when I get on set, we would discuss it first of all, and if I think something would translate well on camera or won't translate well on camera, then I would make that suggestion or discuss it with them at that point in time. But I haven't had I mean, it's not been a year yet. I would say I have 10 months in the industry, but I have shot over 100 scenes already. So in that time, I would not say I had any particular problems on sets. I tend to be very stern about things on the set, and
how important is that as a producer to be that way?
It is important because the talent would have a vision, but they don't see what we see as producers behind the lens. So they may want to do something that may not translate well on camera. And as the producer, you have to explain and tell them why and show them. Maybe give them an example of why it wouldn't work. Or maybe we could tweak something to make it. But your goal is to give the talent the shoot that they're looking for as best as possible. So that comes paramount. So I'll explain to them, like, listen, that won't make you look good, or you don't look good in that position, or, simple things like that. If a model would approach me today and ask me to shoot a scene in Times Square for her OnlyFans, my first thing that I would say to her is OnlyFans policy, one of their latest changes in the policy is the public, you can't do stuff in public now. They don't want sex in public on OnlyFans. So I would tell them that's not going to work. It's a waste of time.
Yeah. Which speaks to the importance of why you have your stuff on multiple platforms.
Yes.
And speak to that, please.
Having your stuff on multiple platforms is just it's for the go-getters. The lazy people won't get this, but the content, owning your content, is the most important thing in this industry. Yeah. And being able to put your content on multiple platforms, it gives you more income. It will also show you one platform may be taking too much from you versus another platform. So these are things that you will learn in just taking the time out to build a profile on another platform.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it doesn't take time. I mean, the changes in the industry, in the porn industry,
Mm-hmm.
with the advent of OnlyFans and ManyVids, AP Clips, all these sites. These sites have only been around 3 years for the most, so
Mm-hmm.
it's still a learning process. But it's there to take advantage of. If you follow the rules,
Mm-hmm.
you can take advantage of these sites, multiple sites, and
Mm-hmm.
you may have fans that primarily go to ManyVids. You may have guys that don't go to OnlyFans. So
Mm-hmm.
if you have your content on both platforms, you have that ManyVid fan base that you're selling your
Mm-hmm.
content to, and you have your OnlyFans network. Some people don't do both; they choose one or the other. You having your content on multiple platforms, you maximize your income, maximize your profit.
Which is true, which is so true. Now, this is the other thing I want you to speak to. The way that men, we have to come in, even if we're talent, as a producer, we have to come in with a mind state of business. Because you also talked about how you did the research and stuff. I want you to speak to why we have to come in with that mind state already versus the mind state that women might come into the business with.
Because we're not eye candy, or primarily it's it's basically in the porn world or the industry, as you would say.
Mm-hmm.
The buyers of porn are primarily men, mostly men.
Mm-hmm.
You have females who buy porn, but they're into other females. Females, I haven't ran into a lot of females or seen a lot of traction from females, even online, as far as buying porn for a particular guy. It always comes back to what people want to see, and
Mm-hmm.
dudes are typically, I guess, hornier than females. So
See, I think the reason why women don't, how can I put this? They don't, to me, sex for them is emotional and it's not physical, so they don't get off on the physical like we do. So when they watch a porn, 9 out of 10 is gonna be with their mate, or they bought it for their mate, or they with their homegirls is kind of a joke. Why dudes, we get off on it. So I think that's probably one of the biggest reasons.
Bobby, listen, man, listen. You the OG, right?
Oh
You the
yeah.
OG. I'm gonna tell you this much. A lot of these young girls now, they don't give about emotion.
Yeah.
They're out here like men now. That's why it's easier for me to shoot a lot of girl scenes, because girls are really lusting after other females. They
Yes.
yeah, on set they're way more aggressive. They're into, you know,
See,
versus being on set with a
you in
guy.
New York, so it's kind of like, how can I put this? With you being in New York, you have more of a traffic community to pull from. With me in North Carolina, it's kind of like it's North Carolina. I'm just gonna leave it.
Yeah,
Saying. So you get to interact with people way more so than I would ever would. But no, continue. I wanted to hear more.
shout out to North Carolina. One of my first stops traveling, shooting was North Carolina, and it was real
Oh,
rough.
okay.
It was real rough for me. I
Mm-hmm.
had I had I had talent pull out on me,
Yeah.
and you know it was real rough. But shout out to North Carolina,
Yeah.
because since then, some of those same talents has circled back and they want to work with me again. So
Mm-hmm.
they're asking me to come back.
Yeah, because people don't realize the hell we got to go through to find the talent. People flaking, people not showing up. They say they want to work with you, then they go MIA. It's on the mental health thing because mental health month. Please speak to how that kind of does kind of hurt the psyche a little bit of a professional when people do that shit. and in most cases, pockets.
It actually is. It could be devastating. Sitting in a hotel room that you booked for a talent, and she's not answering her phone. It hurts. It hurts. Your ego, like you said, your pockets. It hurts in a multitude of different ways. And I guess this is stuff that ladies have to learn, that it affects their bottom line, because we're still in a small industry, and word gets around. Producers talk. We discuss talent with each other, just like talent discuss producers. So it's all a network, and you want to appear professional at all times. You want there's always going to be things said about you, but you want the majority of what's said about you to be good and mostly professional, and you back it up with your work. And most importantly, if your work shows that, it'll translate well.
Yeah. See, that's the thing that, like, I tell females, it's not about how you say yes, it's about how you say no.
Yes. Yes.
See,
Yes.
that's why I did the Smokers Lounge, because I want to get the crux of things. Everybody always asks the normal question, but they don't ask the real question, have the real conversations. Period. Such as how a producer feels when that girl flakes, or that shoot didn't go well, or go exactly as planned, or it was a rough shoot. It does affect us because we care about our work and we care about our professionalism.
Uh, I would akin that to feeling like Shaq at the free throw line. Yeah, we're gonna keep shooting, but with the percentages is real low. At
Yeah.
times it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Shaq was a monster in the paint, but at the free
Yeah.
throw line,
He sucked. He sucked. And especially if he had to do one where they had to win the game. Oh my God.
okay,
It,
so that's like you got your last spending part of your budget, and
mm-hmm.
you booked the hottest model you could find,
Mm-hmm.
and you booked her flight to come in, and she didn't show up to the airport. So the game winning shot, you lost the chip.
Yeah.
Locker
Let's see.
room looking real bad.
Morale down.
Yeah, that's it right there. It diminishes your morale, and it
Yeah.
makes you not want to. I mean, well, everybody's different. It may
Mm-hmm.
make you want to go harder with your next shoot, or it may just make you want to take a step back.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other girl that you may contact down the line unknowingly suffers from what that first talent did to you.
And I think that what a lot of female talents don't get is that you're dealing with PSD just as much as we're dealing with your PSD. Because as many times as she had a talent that didn't act right, or a producer that flaked, or what have you, we didn't have a talent flake on us, and girls that didn't act right on set, or guys.
Well, to be honest with you, if I had talent on set, and I've had that, I would say one time,
Mm-hmm.
that it wasn't on set, but after
Mm-hmm.
she kind of got out of pocket and stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm the type of person that you wouldn't know that I'm upset with you.
Mm-hmm.
The interaction may stop. We may not speak, but you won't know that I'm upset with you.
Mm-hmm.
And in doing that, I saw that model a couple months later in Miami, and everything went great. And we worked again.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sometimes as
professionalism.
producers, yes, we have to be professional even when others are not.
Yes.
And that's the
Yes.
hardest part of this business.
Yes.
Most definitely. So in your love life, I don't know if you're single, married, or what have you. You ain't even got to say. What's some of the myths? Do you think people in our business have a hard time, especially on the man side, us, finding a mate?
Uh, Finding a mate who is not in the industry, or working, or finding a mate that's in the industry. There's
Go both ways.
okay. Finding a mate that's not in the industry, that understands what you're doing in the industry, is a balancing act.
Mm-hmm.
She has to have that confidence in you and that trust in you that you're going on set with numerous beautiful models who are butt naked, and she has to be secure in herself that you're going to be professional, because
Mm-hmm.
she can't show up to the set with you. I mean, I know of producers who actually work with their wives so that the wife is on set,
Mm-hmm.
but for most of us, she can't show up on set with you to see what you're doing. So she has to
Mm-hmm.
have that trust. I can't speak to it, so um, I would just think that that's what's needed in that situation, is a lot of trust. As
Mm-hmm.
far as as far as dealing with somebody in the industry, that's also a balancing act, because
Mm-hmm.
jealousy may come into play.
Mm-hmm.
If your mate is doing better than you, or if your mate is, has a different preference to what
Mm-hmm.
you think she may have. It's a balancing act. It's a balancing act, and honestly, I would say I don't see a lot of those relationships really working out in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
But for the ones that do, more power to them.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like I said, I tell anyone it takes a special person to date somebody in this industry. Well, it doesn't matter what spectrum you're on this industry. It takes a special person.
A big
Because even
freak too.
yeah, yeah. That's why I said 9 out of 10. If she's a porn star, she might as well just date a swinger, because because
But then she may have a problem. But then she may have a problem with that.
yeah, yeah. Be like, well, you doing too much swinging. What?
Porn stars are jealous too.
Yeah. People don't realize that they can get jealous on set just as quick as a normal civilian. They still a person.
As a producer, you should know that we see subtle instances of that.
Mm,
It may be a gang bang, or it may be uh orgy scene, it may be a threesome, and you tend to see energy with people, so
mm,
that happens more than people would think.
yeah, yeah. Because I actually seen I actually seen a situation where a dude he was the pimp, but he was married to the lady I was working with, and at some point, I guess the night after we shot, she had said my name during sex with him. And ever since then, it was like when I went back the next day for the shoot, he told me. And I'm looking at him like, why are you telling me this, man? I don't want to know this shit. Because I know, regardless, that, yeah, that you might be in the lifestyle of that, you're still a man. And that's still going to make you think, and it might affect the shoot. And it actually did affect the shoot, because it ended up going to where we were shooting to shooting one, and I knew that was part of the reason. So it is a delicate balance to that.
Pimping wasn't pimping.
No.
uh but I guess that goes to with sex workers who have pimps.
Yeah.
It's a
Have you dealt
form
with
of
that?
uh in my younger years. in my
Mm.
younger years but I guess pimps would be threatened by porn producers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always seemed to be the case throughout history. It seemed that way. I'm like, which I don't know why, but I guess the lifestyle they in, I don't know. It's kind of funny. I kind of noticed that too.
Oh, you know what's crazy? Now that you say that, there's a show that comes on it might be Showtime or one of those premium channels that
I think it's
if
HBO. I think I know you're talking about Meth Man is in it. God, I can't
yeah.
think of the name
You
of it.
know
Yeah,
exactly the show that I'm talking about. Yeah,
yeah,
it's about 42nd Street and the start of the porn industry on
yeah,
42nd Street. Okay, there was a pimp in that show, and he was
yeah.
taking his girl to a porn producer, and
Mm-hmm.
he could not deal with her. He could not deal with her on set getting fucked and dealing with the producers, and that broke their relationship up. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just funny that just popped into my head.
Yeah. But see, what's funny is that still happens to this day because if it ain't a pimp, it's their boyfriend manager
Oh
or their
yeah.
manager.
Yeah, yeah. Their boyfriend manager slash talent who's trying to break into the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's the worst feeling in the world. It, I want to bring my own talent, and then they get mad when you say no. In my situation, they get mad when I say no, not um because this is what people don't understand. Being a male talent is not that easy. It just ain't simple as I'm gonna bring my husband on set and we shoot. Because they don't understand it, with you being the cameraman you speak to, how close you really get to the action. They think you stand off.
Yeah, yeah. You know, like with our equipment being upgraded like damn near every year, the gimbals come in handy in those cases now. So you don't have
Yeah,
to really get that close up on the action. But I know what you're speaking of.
yeah.
But honestly, me, I run a real firm set. So if
Hmm.
somebody was to come with their significant other, before we start shooting, the significant other is going to understand that they're not going to be able to see the actual scene being shot.
Hmm.
I don't allow other people onto my set while I'm shooting
Hmm.
at all.
Yeah. And I'm gonna ask you a question. With that, do you think that works better for a shoot than having a shoot with a lot of people that's in the vicinity?
Yes, unless you want to have an environment for your shoot that there are voyeurs per se around or a party going on. There's no
Hmm.
reason to have random people on your set. There's no reason for it at all.
Hmm.
Noise eliminates noise. It eliminates shots. Certain shots you may want to turn it to a particular angle, and someone is standing there, and you can't get that shot because a random person in shorts and flip flops is standing in the background.
Hmm. Yeah, because it's hard to work around that for
Yeah,
sure,
yeah.
for sure. But hey, I'm going to have to shut this down. I'm going to bring you back. I got to bring you back, man, so we can really chop it up. For a later episode, talk about some subject when it dealing with porn or what have you, and everything. Go ahead and tell everybody where they can see your work, how they can book you if they in New York and they want to do a shoot and all that good stuff, and what you got going on in the future.
Okay. Like I said, I'm 10 months in, still a part of my rollout, and I only use the platform for our industry. I call it
Mm-hmm.
our platform, which is
Mm-hmm.
Twitter. Twitter allows you to put adult content on the platform. So that's the only place you can find me. It's ShootH.E.R, and that's shoot ShootHER 69 on Twitter. And it's shooter H period E period R productions at gmail.com. You can reach me on email or you can shoot me a DM as long as it's business inquiries. For talent, especially the men, if you're reaching out, please make it professional. I don't require photos. If you have work that you want to send, that's not a problem. But the random pics and stuff like that, I do tend to deal with that, and it's not a good look. So once again, you can catch me on Twitter, ShootH.E.R. It was definitely a pleasure being on the cast. We didn't even really get into anything, so I'm glad you're extending another invite to the show.
Because a lot of people I plan to bring back, especially the male producers and male talent, as well as female talent, but definitely the guys, because I want us to have a voice. Okay. And I don't think a lot of these podcasts, a lot of these outlets really give the men in the business a good voice like they do the women. And that's one of the things I want to do and accomplish with this podcast is give my brothers in this industry a voice so they can talk and people can know our side of the story.
Our struggle.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they don't understand it. You feel me? So let me close this out before you go. And once again, thank you. I'm going to bring you back for show because, there's a lot we didn't get to. I didn't even get to ask you about the mask, your toys, because that picture, people, I'm just going to say it before I do this close out. He sent me a picture. This man has every dildo in every color you can fucking think of. This dude is ready to go. He is trained to go, people. Y'all need to book this man to do your next scene. I'm telling you. I'm putting a stamp on it. Y'all need to book ShootH.E.R. for real. All right.
Bobby. So next time we get up, we can do that because we actually didn't discuss that. That's my BDSM side. It's like an alter ego actually, but we can get to that next time. It's definitely a pleasure though.
No doubt. So before you go, let me close this out. Life is a learning experience. What's the point of experience? You didn't learn anything. Smoke that over. Thank you for coming, ShootH.E.R.
Yeah, I'm smoking it over, man.
No doubt. All right.
All right, one.